On the home page of my website, I have created a class calendar that keeps track of class events for a particular month. One of the nice features about this calendar, well, there are a couple of really, you can update it from anywhere as long as you have internet access. I can update and make changes to these calendars, and they automatically show up on my web page. I can also scroll ahead to see events that are happening in the future. And for that matter, I can go back in the past and check on when certain dates happened, which is a really nice feature. Creating this calendar was very simple. It's actually a Google tool. I love Google. Their products are easy to use and free, which we always like. Free is great. And they are made to work with the internet and with whatever programs that you use. And I must say I've really appreciated using the calendar. So I'm going to show you how to create one today. First thing we need to do, because this is a Google tool, is go to the Google homepage. So we're going to go to www.google.ca, hit enter. We get the very familiar Google homepage. We move our mouse down over the top and you'll see a menu bar come up here. The calendar is actually found under More. So we click this triangle next to More and we get a drop-down list. Calendar is about halfway down. So you go down to Calendar and you click and it takes you to the calendar. Now it remembers that I have a Google account. I'm going to create a brand new account just to mirror what you will see when you create your account. So I'll go to create an account. Okay. Your current email address. It's remembering me, so let's throw it a curveball. I'm going to use my Yahoo account at yahoo.com and I will give it a password. Okay? One nice feature about this is that it tells you the strength of your password. And a lot has been made recently of passwords being strong in order to protect your information and keep your data secure, which means your password should be at least 8 characters in length, and it should include both numbers and letters. This particular password that I've typed in only has 6 characters, and they are all letters, so it is not a strong password. They're even telling me why. It's too short. So I'm going to punch in just a couple of random numbers and see what it has to say about that. So all of a sudden I'm up to 8 characters. I have numbers and letters. My password is strong. So now I will enter that password again. And that's done. Now I can click on Stay Signed In, which is fine if you're on a personal computer that other people don't use, then by all means stay signed in. If you're on a public computer, don't stay signed in. You want to protect your information. Same thing with enabling web history. It gets to know you. It gets to know where you've been and what you've done and helps find more sites that are more relevant to you. So whether you check that box or not is entirely up to you. Then we come down here, we get started, we type in our first name, we type in our last name. I think this is because it remembers me. It automatically knows I'm in Canada. But if yours isn't showing you that, then you just click the drop-down list and go to Canada. Our time zone, you click the drop-down list and you go down to Newfoundland time in St. John's. Birthday, they don't need to know that. Then we type in the characters here. A lot of websites ask for this just so that they know you are not a computer program that is trying to spam people. By typing that in, apparently we prove that we are human. Okay, and then down the bottom you have your terms of service and your privacy policy, which of course you should always read. And then if you want to accept the terms of service, then you create your account. Alright, then you'll see this screen come up, which is account creation confirmation. It says welcome to Google Accounts, tells me my account username, and tells me that it sent a confirmation of this Google account to my email address. So I can't really do anything else right now with Google until I go check my email and get my account verification. So I will do that now. So I'm going to go to the Yahoo website. I'm going to check in my mailbox. And I see an account verification here from google.com, a Google email verification. So I click on that. Okay, and it shows me my email verification and tells me that if I want to activate your account and verify my email address, that I should click on that link. It also suggests that I print that page for my records because I'll need that link if I forget my password or my username or something. So I'm going to click on this link right here. Alright, and I will get this email address verified message. Thank you for verifying your Google account. I can add a mobile phone number if I want to. I don't right now. You might. If you do, go right ahead. I'm going to click here to continue. Okay, so when I click there to continue, it automatically brings me right to a calendar. It is showing me the week-long screen, which is the default screen that it always shows you. I'm not a fan of the week-long screen. I like the month. So there's the month view. These tabs here across the top will show you several different views. You can see 4 days. You can see an agenda style. You can see a day. As I said, I like the month. The dates that are showing up in red right now is a default calendar. If you say you're from Canada, there's a Canadian holidays calendar that I guess Google has created that shows up automatically for everybody. You can't make any changes to that particular calendar. It's a set calendar, but it's nice to know what the holidays coming up are. Alright, now if you want to create a class calendar, you probably don't want to use your own personal email address as the name of the calendar. You probably want to use something a little more generic. So we're just going to click on Create. And we're going to create a new calendar. You can create, as far as I know, as many calendars as you like. I don't know if there are any limits to it or not. Personally, with my Gmail account, I have 3 calendars. I have my personal calendar, I have a class calendar, and I have a calendar for the school that I keep on their website too. So this calendar name, we're going to just call it Class Calendar. The description, of course, describe your calendar. This is a class calendar created to show people how to use Google Calendar. Alright, you can type in your location. If it's a public search, or if you're going to make your calendar public, you probably should specify a location. Making your calendar public means that it's going to show up in Google web searches. I don't know what the search terms would have to be in order to find your calendar, but it could show up there in a Google search, and anybody can go and look at your calendar. If you're using the First Class website editor, you will have to make it public. I don't know how to access the HTML code in the First Class editor to embed the calendar, which is what has happened with my website. I have embedded my calendar in my website because I use Dreamweaver in order to edit my website, so I can access the HTML code and embed the source code needed. If you're using First Class, as far as I know, you can't access the HTML code, so you're going to have to create a link to your calendar on your web page. And in order for the link to work, you're going to have to make it public. That's a lot of rambling there, but just to say, for your location, put in where you are, so people know for sure that it's you. Your calendar time zone and country should show up there because you said it earlier. If it doesn't, just click on the drop-down lists and pick the appropriate choices. Make this calendar public so that it will appear in public Google searches. Again, if you're using a First Class editor, you're going to have to click on Make It Public in order for your link to work. You can also share only My Free Busy information. As this is not a personal calendar, I don't think that really matters if people know what's going on in your classroom. It's not like you're putting personal details of your life up on the web. You can also share it with specific people, which is great if you have an office full of people using the calendar so that you know when everybody is in the office or out of the office. It can be very handy. If you're using this calendar on a class website, there's really no need to do that. Unless you want to put in the email addresses of all of your parents and have them be the only ones look, but you probably don't need to do that. When you've selected all of these things, just click on Create Calendar. It gives you a warning about making your calendar public. Again, as a class calendar, I don't see a problem with that. As long as I guess you don't put students' full names up there and pictures and things like that, which I can't see you doing. Alright, so now we have a class calendar created, and you will notice that the changes, the class calendar will show up in gold, whereas your personal calendar will show up in blue. So we have two separate calendars, and you can decide, of course, which one will show up on your class website.